Oh, yeah.
Oh, I gotta see what camera. Wait, you got the music playing?
The music playing.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Welcome to the Pastor Rapper Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm the rapper. He's the pastor, and this is another rapper here. Usually we try to,
Wait. Y'all ganging up on me.
Yes.
But I'm actually both, though.
He's a pastor and a rapper.
So that's what makes this specific episode so dope.
There we go.
Balance is out.
And you got a rapper and a pastor over here.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
So
I
it's not
love
really
it.
a gang up.
It's not gonna be a gang up, bro. What you been up to, bro? I ain't seen you in like a month.
Working. Unfortunately, I wish I did this full time, but I don't. So.
Hey, go ahead. Praise report time. Praise report.
Oh,
time.
well, yes, I do. Thank you. I do have another job, y'all. So
Hey man, we've been praying for this brother.
I've been praying for this job.
Laid hands on him in service and everything.
He don't cry with me and everything, but I'm out that job, and yeah, we grateful to be here. But enough about me. We got somebody here today.
Hey, look, we've been taking a break. What we say last time? Been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
But we came back with another dope podcast. Step 2?
I think it's step. See,
That's
you
fire.
ain't
That's
listening.
fire.
You ain't listening to secular music, so you don't even know what we
I think it's Timberland, right?
Yes, it's
Timberland said
It's
that.
Timberland.
Okay.
Anyway, man, we got a dope interview today. Ty, I'm going to let you introduce our guest. Then we're going to get to it because y'all know we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, this man here it's all relevant, but I think it's one of the top battle rappers, period. He, what's up, man? Pause. This whole situation. But nonetheless, he's ranked in the top 10 of battle rappers right now. But like I said, he's one of the
Wait. Slow down. Top 10 battle rapper
period
in the world.
And this ain't on some personal purpose. I think
universe, because we don't know if there's life on other
In the
planets.
universe.
You know what I'm saying?
in the universe. I like that. But yeah, so this is LOSO, man, and I don't know. Do you want to talk about how this came about? Like, people probably like, how do these people even meet?
Yo, I mean, well, like I told you guys, and so I'm just rolling on TikTok, and that's the place to be. If you just a content creator, you just posting stuff on there. So I'm just minding my business and seeing you guys have some conversations that intrigued my interest, and so I wanted to kind of do like a little media run anyway. Yeah. And so as soon as I started communicating with you guys and see like the down to earth personalities and what you guys were doing, and it's so crazy that y'all told me that y'all had took a break because I'm thinking, oh man, they're gonna be swamped up with schedules and stuff like that. And thank God we was able to meet, man. So we here now, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, before I feel like we're going too fast. I don't feel like we're giving him his just due.
Okay.
So if y'all are unfamiliar, with battle rap, you need to know that there are a list. There are hundreds of battle rappers, aren't there?
24,000 battle rappers documented in the world.
24,000.
I didn't know that.
I mean, we talking everybody from I can't even
Arsenal.
No. I'm talking about the people from way back in the day. Like I'm talking about Murder Mook, Meek Mill in the street. We talking way back then. We talking amateur battle rappers, and this man is top 10, and he's right here in the state of Florida.
Right next to us.
Yes, sir, man.
Right here in Tampa. That's where we at right now. This beautiful abode right here, Tampa, Florida.
It's my beach house in Tampa, y'all.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, if y'all need Airbnb, holla at my man.
Hey, no, don't they got a Netflix special in Tampa? It's like
They do.
Selling
Tampa.
It's right here. So yeah, if y'all trying to flip, get at your boy. Let me quit lying to these people.
Hey, man.
Let me quit lying to these people.
Yeah, man. So it's a pleasure and an honor. I told you on the phone, man, I'm a fan. We're fans.
Definitely.
But we also respect you as a person. And, man, we want to dive deep because we want people to know exactly who you are and why you do what you do. So, like, man, how did you get to where you are as a man and as an artist and all that you do? Because, man, hey, I don't know who's going to watch this, who knows LOSO. Who is LOSO and how'd you get to where you are?
Yeah, man. So for me, obviously, I'm residing in Tampa, Florida, and I had met a group of guys around, man, I want to say, so just to let it out there, I didn't grow up in a Christian household at all. It was no Christian values, nothing like that. My mother obviously was a strict mother. She was a Puerto Rican mother, you know what I'm saying? So like we weren't able to just do whatever we wanted. But she was introduced to Jesus around probably when I was like 14, 15 years old. So I started getting taken to church. But I had no interest. Obviously, I was still doing whatever I was doing in the streets and stuff. So when I turned, I want to say maybe about like 18, 19 years old. I was just on YouTube one day, minding my business, bro. And I just clicked on a video. And this video had no visual, whatsoever. It just had audio. And I'm listening to this pastor just preach. And for the first time, it was the same message that we probably heard all our life. You know what I'm saying? But this day, it just clicked. It just clicked for me. And everything was making sense. And I was like, oh snap, this is real. This is like a real guy that actually lived. He's God, you know what I'm saying? He died, he lived, he resurrected on the third day. Like, my sin is an issue. God is holy. Like, all these different things I started coming to grips with. And so from that day, I remember having this friend who also was at church. He was a little older than me. He used to drive like an hour. And since I told him I became a Christian, he was like, bet, let's get started. He used to drive an hour, pick me up, take me to McDonald's, and just like read the Bible to me.
Now, is this in Tampa?
This is in Tampa.
Okay,
it's in Tampa, bro. And so I had never knew anything. So he's just reading it to me. And so I'm learning that. But he gives me a CD. Mm-hmm. And he gives me this Christian rap CD, The Truth. And the Truth's album was The Faith.
Shout out to The Truth.
Yep.
Oh, that's one of the hardest Truth albums out there.
Hardest one. And so he gives it to me, and I'm just like, man, what is this? Like, Christian rap, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is corny.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to this, you know what I'm saying? And so, but I went to the crib, and my problem was when I first became a Christian, I was like, yo, I don't want to open up the Bible. I want to like the Bible just seems boring.
Yeah.
However, though, when I started listening to The Truth, I got plugged into like the Ambassador and all these other guys. And in their albums, man, they used to drop like scriptures and stuff, but it would cause me to go ahead and open it up. And so I would open it up, and I was reading, I was like, oh, snap. So that's how I started memorizing verses. That's how I started like knowing about books in the Bible, stories in the Bible, stuff like that, because they were putting it in their verses.
Yeah.
And I was memorizing their songs like this. And I was such a big fan. So, at this time, though, I had only met white Christians, and I only had met old Christians, right? I had never met anybody who dressed like me, who talked like me. And those rappers, obviously, they were in Philadelphia or whatever, but I didn't know anybody in my city that I was like, man, like, who can I go ahead and do life with? And I remember praying, I was like, yo, I need some friends that kind of just like, what I'm on right now. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that Flame, shout out to Flame. He was coming to St. Petersburg, which is like, right down the block. And he was having a concert. And so I said, I'm gonna just go. And I pulled up, and it's gonna sound crazy, but this is the first time I ever saw black guys with dreads
worshiping Jesus.
I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
But I also never grew up in the church, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I saw it, I was like, I gotta go introduce myself. Yeah. I said, they know all his lyrics. I know all his lyrics. And I couldn't find them after the event. And so I just went home, and I was like, dang, it is what it is. I get a message, I think it was on Facebook or something like that. I get a message from one of the guys who was there. He was like, yo, you was at the Flame concert? I don't know how he found me. Mm-hmm. My boy Kato, he still lives out here. My boy Kato, and I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, man, let's get up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Love to go ahead and do life. And I was like, man, say no more. Yeah. So we met up. We actually ran into each other at this Bible study or whatnot, but he was like, yo, I want to introduce you to some friends of mine, and we just kind of link up from there. So he took me to this apartment out in Tampa, Florida. It was on the street called Fletcher, and I walked in, and it was KB. KB was there. My other guy, his name is Second Chance. He does country music now and stuff. I don't know if y'all know him, but this is the apartment where we started HGA at, say His Glory Alone. And I walked in there, and it was other guys who were just like me, you know what I'm saying? They loved hip hop, but but our hearts had been grabbed by Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And so we was like, all right, let's go ahead and just do life together. So at this time, I wasn't doing music. I had never rapped before I met the Lord. I had never wanted to, nothing like that. But they were all rapping. Mm-hmm. And so they would sometimes ask me to be like, yo, get on the track and stuff like that. I'll do it, but it wasn't something that I was like really pressing. One day I was volunteering at a juvenile detention center, and there was a producer there. And I had just wrote a verse. I just wrote a random verse for my testimony, and he had heard me, and he said, yo, come over to my crib, bro. I got a studio. I just want to show you around. I said, bet. Went over there. His name is Sacrifice, and shout out to Sacrifice, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even, maneuvered in any type of art as far as like music or writing, period. But he used to sit me, my boy Kato, and my other guy, Kenny, he used to sit us three in his studio, just turn beats on, and was like, just write. And so I learned how to just write in the studio on the spot while the beat, and then we would just record. I wasn't good at recording nothing, but he would just have me, bro, like we would have to write a verse. Like it was almost like we wrote a verse a day. We were writing so many verses.
Making the band.
Yeah, something like that, bro. It got to the point, I remember like there would be ciphers at different events, and I would be in a cipher all night because I had like 100 verses in my head. And so, you know, shout out to Fights or whatnot. So I did that, and you know, but still, it was just something that I was just doing. I never really thought anything more to it. There was this at the Legacy Conference. There's a Legacy Conference out in Chicago that they do every year.
Legacy Conference.
Rapzilla had teamed up with them, and they won in 2013. They wanted to do a Rapzilla 16-bar competition. And so already in my circles, they kind of knew me as like, oh, you know, Loso, you know, he writes like a punchline, you know, stuff like that. He's kind of good with that. But, and I was already a heavy fan of battle rap at this time because going to school, I remember this dude used to pick me up when I was in high school, and he just put this CD in, and it was Murder Mook. I didn't know at the time, but this guy's rap. I was like, yo, who is this guy? And I remember searching him on YouTube, and I used to watch. I was like 13 watching Murder Mook in my mom's, you know, kitchen, and I was just like, yo,
shout out to Murder Mook.
Yeah, this is just crazy, and the art form, like the way they were delivering the content and stuff for me was just so authentically hip hop that it just, you know, it grabbed my attention. So 2013, they do the competition, and hundreds and hundreds of people submitted, and I was just like, all right, let me just try to submit. Clicked it, and I sent a submission in, and boom, they hit me up. They was like, yo, you're in it. So okay, cool. So you got they flew out the top 10 submissions, right, to Chicago, and you got a chance to win like $1,500. But you know, you was gonna get exposure or whatnot. So it was myself, but it wasn't just us. It wasn't just new guys. You had guys like Braille from Humble Beast, right? Yup. You had guys like Gemstones. You know what I'm saying? He was in there, and so I was like, psh, I was nervous. You asked me about my nerves before, bro. I remember being in the back room, everybody eating in the green room, and I'm over there in the bathroom about to throw up, bro. I'm literally like that nervous because the place is packed. You had Izzo in the building. You had Jackie Hill in the building. You know, the judges were Alex Medina and Jen, MC Jen. He was the judge that day. And so, and R. Swift was hosting it. Like it was, to me, it was star-studded within our community and our space and stuff. So, Street Hymns, I don't know if y'all know, you know, that's my boy. Shout out to Street Hymns, and you know he's part of my group now and stuff like that. But he was actually in the tournament too. He was one of the top 10 finalists. And while we were right before the tournament, he was just talking about how he had this first round that was just gonna set the tone. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna just set the tone tonight." Yada yada. Well, they picking out names of a hat to see who's gonna battle who in the first round. Me and Street Hymns' name gets pulled out first, and we was like, "All right, bet." I knew that. Now, granted, I had brought 2 random verses that I already just had, but I wrote 1 verse for this event, but I wrote it in the event that I was gonna be at the end. I couldn't lose first round, and I knew I was sitting on a bomb, right? I knew I was sitting on a bomb, so what I did was...
Street Hymns dirty.
Street tells this all the time, though. And he's always like, man, you always tell this story, bro. But Street had just kept telling everybody, like, yo, I got this crazy first round, and I just could not lose in this first round, bro. So I pulled out my big joker, bro, and I said, all right, bet. And so I went, and, bro, that set the tone that night. And I ended up, long story short, I ended up winning the whole thing. Jen pulls me aside and he says, yo, have you thought about joining battle rap?
Wait, hold on. Look, for about 10 minutes, I've been like, I gotta figure out where to stop him.
Yeah.
Because, man, all of that is good. And I could probably just listen to you talk, for hours. That's what Ty was doing. He's like,
I was here.
Nah, you're good.
But I want to rewind and hit a couple points. So you said some stuff that is very important to us and stuff that we've had conversations about. One of those things is you first mentioned, like, not growing up in a Christian context, not growing up really in a Christian household, and feeling that need to be around guys who look like you, talk like you, all of that type stuff. And then finding that and that being like super important to you, right? And the reason why I want to bring that up is because there's so many people who don't really think that that's important. They're like, yo, you know, red and yellow, black and white, you know, we're on precious in sight. Like, let's just all get together and just do our thing. but it was important for you and your faith to get around guys that look a lot like you, right? So I want people to hear that. I want people to know that, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That. Oh, and here's the thing I really want to bring out. My man said I wasn't really jumping into the text like that. But when I sat down and listened to The Truth, and then later on Ambassador and all them other guys, that's where I got some of my biblical foundation. And the reason I bring that up is because some people out there believe, nah, we don't need to listen to the dudes who only preaching in they raps and this and this and that. And I think they miss the fact that like cats like us really were blessed by that. Because I mean, I'm not here to tell my story, but man, when I got to Christian rap, like that's what I was picking up too. Like I'm like, yo, like these dudes are talking about scripture. Like this is real scripture. So y'all listen to that.
And they could rap. That's the thing. Like it wasn't. It's the thing though. Like if you couldn't rap, I probably wouldn't even get that far into your CD. But the thing about it though is that Master and the Truth, they were rappers, bro. Like to me, they were my favorite rappers at the time. And it got to a point, now granted their content was drawing me too, but it got to a point I was like, yo, sonically, I want to listen to what they got to say rather than such and such. And so you right. I mean, but what also was dope for me is that it made it cool. I saw some guys that like I said, they had the baggy jeans, they had the big shirts, stuff like that, but their hearts were changed. But they could articulate themselves, right? They went to school. They said, all right, cool. You know what? I don't want to just know what I believe. I want to know why I believe it. And so cool. They went to college. And when I saw that, that's why I went to Bible college. I went there and I got a 4-year degree. You know what I'm saying? Because of them. It wasn't because I thought like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and be this big pat. And I still don't have no desire to necessarily do that. But I just wanted to make sure whatever I believed, I knew why I did. I knew why I believed. I didn't want to just believe just because I saw my mother crying in the living room or just because I saw my grandma praying for me. I wanted this. One, I had an experience that I'm never going to deny experience, but I wanted to make sure that when the scriptures say, yo, love the Lord God with your heart, soul, and mind, right? Like I understand like, yo, we should be able to think deeply about this deep God. Like, it's nothing wrong with theology. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with opening up the scriptures and knowing that. So, like, I want to love him with my mind. And so when I did that, and when I saw these guys doing it, when Truth was saying, like, yo, he studied Jewish studies, and Ambassador was like, yo, I went to this. And I was like, I bet. I'm going to do that too. And I'm going to still... I'm still gonna look like me. I had my ears pierced. I remember I had these designs, and the reason why I wanted to get a community is because at the church I was at, though, unfortunately, I remember I couldn't serve unless I took my earrings out. I was at a strict church, so like I couldn't
Pentecostal.
Yes, yep. Couldn't serve unless I took my earrings out. If I had a design in my head, they were sitting me down. Like, and they used to ask me like, "Yo, why you still dressed like that?" And I was like, "Dressed like what? Like it's just who I am." You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I'm trying to be something else. Like this is how y'all found me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you just want an external change, then that's not what I'm here for anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted people around me who knew like, okay, internally I was different and you guys are too. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and see how we operate with each other. But you're right, man.
It's funny that he says that. You remember a couple years ago, I had lip piercings. This is what I was.
My man came into our church with a lip piercing. But I was like, yo, what's wrong with him?
It's funny he's saying that, but the exact reason why Loso said he wanted to find a community of people that accepted him for him. When I came into the church, I didn't want nobody. I didn't want to come in with the clean cut. It's like, oh, he's one of us. It's like, no, I did that to scare people away. It's like, no. If you're gonna accept me for me, you're gonna accept me for me. I know that's probably a little like.
Nah, he was pushing.
No, I had two lips, but I
had lip piercing and he had
colored dreads. I did all that on purpose. Like no, because I know what I'm about. I know I love Christ. I know I'm finna do it. But if you're gonna judge me just off my appearance, I don't want you around me. Facts. You feel me? So I think that's dope that you did that too.
So cool, man. You talk about getting in the Christian community. You talk about kind of battling through, people. Judging you based off the way you look. Now you find this community that is accepting, but now you walking into a whole nother thing. You walk into a whole nother community that these are people who look like you, but internally, most of them are not like you, right? So you were stepping on that, you were starting to walk that way. Jen kind of helped you walk into that direction. So tell us more about battle rap.
So we was already, prior to that, like I said, when we had created HGA and, I was with KB, Second Chance, OV and all these guys, we was already kind of on some tip, like, yo, we just went out. Like our Friday nights used to be consistent of like, used to consist of us going outside, walking the blocks, and whoever we ran into, if you was Scientologist, if you was an 8, we was gonna be debating you, or we was gonna be, giving you the gospel if you was just, regular dude out in the hood and stuff like that. And so that was literally our lives. Like if we was playing basketball, after we played ball with you, you was gonna sit down and hear this truth. You know what I'm saying? That's just who we were. And so even when I had met them, there was this thing called Red Robin where it was just like, they would just randomly test us on how to like preach the gospel. So like KB will do something like this. He'll come up to me and he'll be like, yo man, the Bible's a lie. And I would have to we would just have to start having this and see how I would do. Like it was like a training. It was like a drill thing. And so I was already kind of fit to kind of go into areas where I knew would be hostile towards whatever I believed in at the time. But I was not, like you said, I was never prepared for the community of battle rap because I had never found myself dolo apart from the guys that I was doing life with. So obviously, as you guys grow older, and I'm pretty sure you guys have friendships, you guys just start to drift away. There's just different things, whatever it is. There might have just been issues on this, and that's why, all the guys who were essential to HGA in the beginning, some are probably still with KB, but some, we just moved on to different things. Whenever I see them, it's still love. You know what I'm saying? I show love. But, you don't necessarily see them at my battles.
I was just about to say, will KB ever show up to a battle?
It's crazy. I mean, I was just with him. I was literally just with him last week. And so, and he's just he just kept raving about my battle with Arsenal. He's like, bro, I cannot believe.
Oh, we gonna get to it.
He's like, bro, I cannot believe you battled Arsenal. He's like, I can't believe you beat him, yada, all this stuff. And he's just, and K just thinks I'm the best battle rapper in the world, but I don't know if you'll ever see him there. You know what I'm saying? Now, publicly, those are private conversations. Right. Publicly, you guys wouldn't know that he's a battle rap fan and not like that. And so I don't know if that's his desire. But, I'm also not, he and I aren't as close as we once were. But sure. But it's still love because, like I said, we just hung out and stuff. But we all end up moving on to different things. So in 2013, I was kind of already moving on. And so, like I told you, when I get off stage winning that Rapzilla competition, Jen comes up to me and says, yo, if there is a Christian that should be joining battle rap, it's you.
Wow.
And I was like, what? I said, nah. And this is Jen.
This is
106 in Park. This is Fight Club.
Right. So some of y'all are young. A lot of the people who watch this are young. Go put in YouTube right now, Jen. And y'all don't remember 106 in Park days when we was watching that every Friday.
We run home every Friday. Jen was this Asian kid, bro, up there.
Him and Blind Fury.
Top. Yeah, and just going crazy. And then he ends up getting signed by Rough Rider. Right. If you watch the early Fast and the Furious movies, he's in there. You know what I'm saying? He had a career. And so...
And those of us who are real fans saw the shift in Jen a little bit, and people were unsure about how that was gonna go. Because the only reference we had at that time was Mace. What is he about to do now? Is he about to be super whack?
Nah, but Jen's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Jen's the real deal. And so at this time, obviously, he's already a Christian, and so he comes up to me and says, "Yo, if anybody should go in," because he gets asked all the time to battle again. He gets asked all the time. And he was just like, nah, I'm just not gonna do it. He was like, Loso, you should do it. And I was like, nah, bro.
The golden child.
I'll never do that. I can't do that. I literally thought I could not. There's no way I could remember this amount of material in my head and do something like that. So what ends up happening is right after that, I still, after the competition, I don't do anything. I'm just living life or whatnot. In our community, there was a pastor who was going he was just preaching through the minor prophets, and he had asked KB, yo, can you write an acapella on the book of Hosea? Can you just write an acapella on the book of Hosea and just rap it in front of himself? KB was like, I just don't have time, right? And so the guy, because he couldn't get KB, he ends up hitting me, and he's like, yo, do you mind doing it? And I was like, all right. I said, what do you want? And he was like, acapella. I said, okay, bet. And so I went home, and I had just finished watching Young Ill, battle rapper, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite all time.
Hey, I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah. So he, I just finished watching him, and I just got this inspiration on how to deliver. And I was like, yo, you know what? What if I did this acapella on Hosea, but I did it in a battle rap delivery and format?
Yeah.
So I wrote a 4-minute acapella. And the world kind of just saw it as like a spoken word, but for me, it was a battle rap round. That's what I wrote. That was my first battle rap round ever. It was on the book of Hosea, and it was to the church.
Yeah.
And if you read Hosea, you understand it's God, coming at Israel, obviously the body, and letting them know like, yo, you guys have been an adulterous woman. You know what I'm saying? You guys have been sleeping with other guys and stuff like that, and this is how you're treating me, and I'm gonna do it through the story of Hosea. And so boom, I'm articulating that with punchlines, delivery, different flow switches, and everybody's in the church like, they never heard anything like this.
What is that?
They've never,
it's manna. What is it?
Yeah, right? Because all they knew was like they had like these poems and stuff like that were kind of like soft spoken and stuff. They had the P4CM, but what they saw right here, it was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? And so,
and this is 13, 14?
It's still 2013, yup. And
okay.
so after this, he's asked, the pastor loved it so much, he's asking me to do Habakkuk now, Obadiah, any minor prophet. And I'm just like, bet, boom, 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 boom. You need one on the cross, boom, boom, boom. And so I was rushing them out so much that I was like, maybe I could do it.
Hey.
Maybe I could do it. So I put out a post one day. And now, granted, at this time, like I didn't have like albums out and nothing like that. But what I did have was on YouTube. You saw, like if you looked up LOSO or Los HGA, you had like a bunch of freestyles and a bunch of ciphers and stuff like that. And so one day I just put up on Facebook and I said, "Yo, if there's a Tampa battle rap league, contact me because I would love to go ahead and just try out,
kill everybody."
Yeah, but this is just a tryout joint. It was just a bucket list thing.
Yeah,
I didn't even. I wish I could tell people like, yo, my initial mindset was to go in there and just influence the culture for the Lord, right? But it wasn't. It was just, let me just see if I could do it. I put that post, and there was a league owner, but he had the league called Enter the Dungeon out here. Shout out to Annex, and he commented. He said, "Yo, I'm doing a tryout. I know you don't have no footage, but just send me some stuff of you rapping or what. I just want to check it out." So I sent him those joints that I did, right? Those spoken words or whatnot, and some freestyles. I sent it to him, and maybe about 10 minutes later, I get a message, and he says, "Where the hell have you been?" That's literally what he said. He said, "Where the hell have you?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yo," and he gave me the date. He says, "This is what I want you to do. I got this guy that I want you to battle." So boom, I have a battle, my first battle ever against a guy named Problems out in Tampa, Florida, and that battle, it had such a ripple effect within the community because I was just gonna do a one and done. I was just gonna battle and then lead. I said, I just wanna see how it went. It had such a ripple effect that I could not stop. I couldn't stop if I wanted to because people wanted to see another one. Well, after this, like the attention that got, I was just like, all right, bet, let's see what ends up happening. And this is where my career ends up taking off. I end up finding out about a tryout in Atlanta, and John the Don is throwing out a tryout, and he has this league. And so I was like, all right, bet, you know what, if it's a tryout, if it's just all guys like me who's just starting out, I could probably win it. I look on the resume joint, I look on the flyer, and it's a bunch of dudes that I've seen battle before. And I was like, oh, there's no way I could go ahead and do that. But I said, all right, bump it. I'm gonna go ahead. I paid $100 to get into it. Drove up there, got my own car rental and stuff like that. Drove up there, and long story short, bro, end up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
End up winning the whole tournament. And this is when I was like, all right, something outside of LOSO is kind of orchestrating these events because there's just, how did I just get the highest score in this whole tournament and win the whole tournament, win us roster spot, John the Don, T-Top, everybody who's there, they see me, they're like, yo, who is this? I remember John did an interview afterwards and he said how he lost money for the event because, it was a free event. He just put all his money up to get the venue. But he was like, yo, I did gain though.
Yeah.
I gained the kid I was looking for. He said, yo, no one knows him. He could rebuttal, he could rap, he got punches, he got the look, and he's a Christian. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And so there was a guy there that day at the event, and I remember vividly, he was standing there, and while I was on stage, obviously when I got off, he looked at me, he saw me finish performing, he says, you're a star. He says, you're a star. And I, at the time I didn't know what he was kind of like alluding to, but that's where kind of John just kind of, put me in certain positions. I mean, the next battle, I end up getting on Lifetime because Jermaine Dupri ends up coming to the event and he wants to put it on the rap game.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
so like it was like these weird things that kept happening that made every battle not just a regular battle. Because that's what happens when you start out. You have these regular joints and that people it gets swept up. But it just seemed like every one of my first battles had some sort of big impact. And I'm sitting back like, well, I know what it is. But y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just think like, you know, so I'm getting all this.
How quick did it take though? I mean, I know you mentioned it, but was it like 3 or 4 things before you were like, oh, nah, this is definitely guy? Or was it like?
It was that first joint. It was that tryout.
Yeah.
Because it was packed in that room. And like I said, you could easily get lost in the situation and just all the different battles that were happening. But my opponent, he wanted to battle me and beat me so bad, he ends up getting on stage and tells John, bring Loso on stage right now. We want to battle. And so everybody's like, all right, who's this guy that's like wanting to kill this other? We don't know this other guy. We don't know Loso, but who's this guy? So all attention's on him. I get on stage and I'm like, all right, bet. And I bomb on him. Boom. And so everybody looks at me now. They're like, who is that? So, you know, and so at that point I was like, you know, and Jagged Edge was there that day. And like, it was like a bunch of different things that I was like, yo, like this doesn't regularly happen. You got to be putting in like months and months of work for you to even get noticed from a lot of people. And so, well, after that situation and then other situations that were occurring, I was just like, okay.
Now, at this time, how big, so you're jumping into this field. How big of a fan of battle rap are you? Like, are you?
Oh, yeah. I was
deep into it. Well, your favorite battle, you said, I don't know if you said favorite, but the person you mentioned earlier was Young Ill.
Yeah,
if you like Young Ill, then you've been watching battle rap.
Of course, yeah. But even somebody like John, I just remember I get the DM from him and he's, you know, he tells me, so after I win the event, he goes, yo, give me your phone number. I'm going to call you tomorrow. Didn't really think of nothing. But when I get that phone call from him the next day, I remember I felt like I was talking to like Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how I felt.
Yeah.
And so, because I watched them so much. And so now I have relationships with these guys and these are my peers and stuff like that. It's crazy to me. But you're right, I was a huge, huge fan. So like the fact that Mook knows me, you know what I'm saying? Lux, like, you know, I'm out, we just hanging out and stuff like that. To me, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, that's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here, you know what I'm saying? And that does not happen often, you know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people like, yo, the running back's lifespan in the NFL is 3 years. Yeah. You don't hear about all the, like Adrian Peterson is an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Barry Sanders, like he played 10 years, but my thing's like, it's 3 years, bro. So if you have a crazy career past 3 years, that's crazy. And in battle rap, you hear about the big ones, but bro, there's dudes who are trying to battle every day and don't get past the first level, don't get past the second level, don't even get on URL, don't even do those. But when you become a household name, that's something different. And for me, obviously, I know people would be like, oh, it's hard work, talent stuff, which don't get me wrong, that definitely played a part. But I know, like, yo.
Okay, let me stop you right there. See, he's bringing up a really good point because we put out clips, obviously, on TikTok, and one of the clips that you responded to was actually me and Ty having a conversation about what I call the genius gene. You know, and Ty
doesn't exist.
But I want to hear what you think about that because you're clearly saying like, yo, hard work, dedication, blah blah blah. But no, there was something greater than me. Yeah. And obviously, we're not talking about the genius gene here. We're talking about God. Yeah. But like, I feel like this is a good way to segue because I want to ask you: do you believe in the genius gene? Do you believe that there's like, you know, that like geniuses or people who are just like really proficient in something have something that most other people don't have, and that is kind of what pushes them over the top? Because and let me add some context because even though, you know, what I would say is the Holy Spirit blew on your career, like you still had to be a good rapper. Like you still had to be able to like do these things really well. Yeah. You know, and what you're describing is like, man, you went from like not rapping to rapping and almost, you know, within a couple years, not rapping to rapping, like you're on your way to being one of the biggest battle rap stars. Yeah, yeah. One of the most like famous like gospel sayings in the black church, you know what I'm saying? Favor ain't fair. Favor ain't fair. And it ain't, bro. And so like I said, like there's guys who rap better than me though.
This guy, there's. I tell people all the time, like even dudes. I feel like the dudes that I'm in a group with are better than me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that sometimes, man, when God is calling you to do something, bro, he's gonna be putting you in certain situations that you gotta, he does it in a way that I have to look back and I have to tell both of y'all, that wasn't me. How do I get on Lifetime? I didn't know Jermaine Dupri was gonna be there, you know what I'm saying, and get pushed back there. How did I go ahead and get Battle of the Year, around the year? Like these certain things just worked out the way that it worked out because it was just, it was God's providence in it. And so I do agree in the sense of like, certain people are just wired for certain moments, you know what I'm saying? And so there may be something intrinsically in me, right, that whether it's the aesthetic, whether it's the fact that I'm able to go ahead and control a crowd, maybe it's my delivery. I get praised a lot of times for like the way I enunciate my words and stuff like that. But I mean, I just think like, yo, when you called to do something, bro, he's just gonna go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like and so it may be, I mean, if it is a gene, I mean, I still kind of just attribute it to God because
to answer your question, he's saying no, Byron.
No, he said yes.
No, he's saying no.
He clearly said yes.
He's saying no.
I really don't know what I'm saying.
He clearly said.
All I'm saying is like, if there is one, I mean, it's God giving you,
for sure,
giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if the underlying question is like, yo, could somebody else do what I was doing?
So that's his point of view. His point of view is if anybody works hard enough, they can get to.
But Byron, all right, because I feel like you be.
You think anybody could have done what Steve Jobs did with Apple, or was there something specifically?
All right, it's a mixture of both, and you did say this. So there's a mixture of the work that you have to put in, but sometimes there's like this X factor of. There's certain things playing out as we would say God.
Yeah, chance. But we would say God.
I still think you got to put the work in because even though like Loso was saying, there's things that happen like what the heck is this happening? Right. Jermaine Dupri, I'm on Lifetime, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, going back to the beginning of his story, when you met Sacrifice, he had you in the studio writing. Exactly. That's the work part. Well, so it's a mixture of it.
And I agree with you, and I think I agree with you in the original conversation. Hold on.
I'm saying, wait, keep it. Yeah, and even when you was writing it on the Minor Prophets, that was getting him prepared for this.
I agree. I agree. And
like it was both though, because if you think about it, right, if KB says yes to that, I don't ever write and I don't ever become battle rap. But because he said no, I get the opportunity. But then you're right, I have to now go into my crib and really put in the work and memorize.
So
here's like that.
Here's the point that I made to you in that episode, and I'll continue to stand by this. The people who have that particular gene are hardworking people. There are not lazy geniuses out there. Like it's almost like it comes with whatever that special thing is. And I wanted to tell you, I waited for this episode to roll this out. My wife is actually, she's actually designing a course on this particular thing right now. It's called the Neurological Creative Phenotype. And it's like deep neurological studies about people who are creative geniuses, business geniuses, all of that have something special in their brain that triggers them to be able to like make it far beyond other
like
people.
LeBron, right? We just got to say like, yo, he was just blessed with certain things, bro, to play ball.
Yeah, that most of us will never have.
And that's a fact. That's a fact.
Now, Steph Curry, like that's the other side of the coin, right? It's like, dang, he really worked at what he had to do because he wouldn't have made it to the league unless he was able to shoot like how he shoots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of see both.
I just like, all right, because in that podcast I was very passionate and it did seem like
it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It did seem like in that podcast like I was just saying like you have to work. I know that's not true. It is a mixture of you have to put the work in, but then there's outside things that happens as well for you for certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, but
at the end of the day,
you do got to put the work in. That's
yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah. I just feel like whoever has that will put the work in. Like I don't think that there are people out there who God has blessed tremendously that are just sitting around being lazy. I don't believe in that. I think if you
trust
have
fund babies, Trust fund.
No. Because that's
it was a joke, man.
That's a different kind of blessing. But look, we off track. I just I had to get that in. One, because I wanted to get at him, and two, because that's the comment that you left, or that's the post that you commented on. Yeah. But what I do know is the neurological, creative, phenotype, or favor ain't fair. You got it. So either way, we can argue this thing up and down.
Yeah.
You got it, and I'm glad that you explained it, all those things in that way, because like I'm a battle rap fan, Ty's a battle rap fan, and on the way down here, we were like, "Yo, what's the first time you remember seeing Loso? Like, where did he come from? Like, how did this come about?" Yeah, go ahead.
So that Rapzilla contest, I actually submitted a verse to that.
Hey,
that's one. I remember your submission. You were like, I think you were like in front of a car or something like that. You was like, I don't know. But when I saw your submission, I was like, oh, cuz. I said it. I said, oh, cuz, got it. And I remember when Rapzilla posted you, I pretty much said what homeboy said in the letter to you, like that's what Star said. No, I said he was meant to do this.
Oh wow!
And then so I've been following you since then. So to actually get here is actually crazy. But bro, I actually submitted a verse today. I didn't get picked, but it wasn't meant for me to be picked.
My boy. So obviously in battle we got the Horsemen. So it's myself, Saga, A Ward, and Street Hymns. Street Hymns was in it. A Ward submitted a verse and didn't get accepted.
Okay.
If A-Ward would have got in there, he probably would have beat all of us. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't get accepted. And I think Saga, man, I wonder if Saga said he submitted one too. But that just goes to show you, like, there was some cats who were ready to kind of like, get crazy. But
so I want to talk about Horsemen. I want to talk about that because, man, you hit on some really good things. I feel like you led us here. In battle rap, man, it's a small community of Christians in battle rap. Like battle rap's a small community anyway.
Of course.
But within that, the top tier names of Christian battle rappers are the guys you just named. Your homies, your boys. And I'm guessing that's how y'all became close. Like I'm guessing that's how y'all built relationships.
Yeah. So Street Hymns had a relationship with all of us actually by himself, right? So me and him, he and I knew each other. He had one with Ward and Saga. And so he was actually the second guy to second Christian. So Saga was already doing his thing in URL, right? He was on UFF and BET. Street Hymns is coming from Dallas.
Right.
And because he saw what Saga did, he ends up joining it, which he actually was part of John's bullpen league before I even got there.
Yeah.
So boom, he's doing it. Then Ward and I come maybe like, and this is separately. This is not because we're talking to each other.
Yeah.
I joined out in Tampa, and then Ward a couple of months later, he does his battle. And so you see a guy in New York, Tampa, Kansas City, Dallas, and all four of us are doing it in their own region and are getting notoriety.
Right.
And it was just like that. And so because we started seeing each other, we started like, obviously we knew Saga, and then I start seeing War sees me, I see Street and all that stuff. Street ends up starting a group chat.
Yeah.
And after maybe a year, we just started a group chat, and we were just like, yo, we might as well just start a group.
Right.
And we were all wrestling fans. A lot of people think,
I'm hyped right now because I'm a huge wrestling fan. And
got it.
I was having this conversation last night with my wife, and she constantly asked me, like, why do you like battle rap? It's so disgusting. You're cussing. I was like, yo, it's like wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot like wrestling.
Yeah.
And I knew that Saga was a wrestling fan. You can't watch Saga and not know that he's a wrestling fan. So I've always wondered, like, yo, is the Four Horsemen thing a double entendre for the wrestling thing and for the biblical reference?
And you know what? Because that's why the wrestling team did it. They got it from the biblical reference. But it was really for the wrestling because we all big wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And
y'all kind of came together like the Horsemen too. Because people don't know how. Well, I ain't gonna get on that.
Exactly.
You go ahead.
And so for us, we were like, do we start a group?
Yeah.
Was it gonna be this corny thing of us just kind of like trying to assemble like the Christian Avengers and just like, join, or is it something dope? And what's crazy is that in and out of battle rap, everybody was just like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Y'all should have been joined together. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Because I remember Saga leaving NWX and thinking like, yo, that's wild. But then when I saw y'all, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense.
Makes complete sense. You know what I'm saying? And so Ward was part of a group. Ward, I think he still runs with, but a group called YTG, and then Saga was NWX. Street Hymns and I weren't part of no group, but when we started the group chat and Street Hymns kind of like orchestrated it together, boom, voila, we end up getting the group. And and everybody, we put out one flyer, put out this one picture, which is crazy because I think they were all wearing black and I was the only one in a different color. So it ended up looking like, yo, this cat
I remember that.
always trying to stand out. And I was like, I tell people all the time, like, yo, I promise, bro, whoever did the graphic, dog, he just chose those pictures, bro. I don't know why it looks like I want to be the Red Ranger all of a sudden.
Nah, he Puerto Rican. He wanted to stand out.
Yeah. and so after that, you know, it just starts, you know, taking a life of his own. But what was dope is that the same situation I had ran into when I first became Christian, period, was what I ran in the battle rap. Like, it was cool, but I was like, man, Lord, send me some people who think like me, bro.
Dope.
And so these guys were in battle rap, and it was just, okay, let's do this, because we don't have, this not, like, I tell people all the time, like, yo, don't just watch our battles and think, yo, all right, this isn't God. You know what I'm saying? I said, like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, you don't know all the conversations we having afterwards, after the events, the debates we getting, all this other stuff that we're going through. I said, like, it's like we really working out here, one. And then two, we don't have somebody that we can look at and be like, okay, how do Christians operate in this field?
Yeah.
We didn't have, I don't have a blueprint. I don't have another dude that I could go ahead and look up and like, what did he do when he was here? No one has ever reached this status. There's never been another unashamed, I mean, granted, people that Bible believing Christians, but they're not unashamed Christians at the top. True. And saying, okay, this is how we operate when we get into rooms with Drake and Joe Budden and all this other stuff. I don't know. I just don't know who else was doing that, and especially not in battle rap.
Right.
And so the fact that I have my brothers at the side of me though, and we're all doing it together, that was more confident. And obviously, you know, there's people in the community who got, you know, who hold me down too. But specifically those guys, I was like, all right, cool, we could go ahead and do this together.
Well, that's interesting, bro, because like it's, you know, when you first get saved, people always talk about like use wisdom. They tell you all these places not to go, things not to do. And it would almost seem like, man, y'all are walking into the fire.
Yeah,
it's like, man, y'all are going into, like, rap alone is explicit, but like battle rap is a whole nother monster, man. So like, I know y'all's brotherhood helps y'all out, but like, man, what made you say like, I'm okay with being in this space? Yeah. Like, is it just like that you're that guy who is okay with, you know?
One for me though is that like, I mean, that's just where I came from. Yeah. Like, this is what I grew up with, right? And so I think the Lord is definitely in the business of not just redeeming people, but redeeming cultures, right? Amen. So like, he has no problem taking a dude out of the culture, changing his heart, and then putting him back in. It's like, all right, go ahead and impact them. Yeah. Man, that's just you just open up the scriptures. That's just what he does. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Paul, the same people you were killing, all right, go ahead and impact them. You know what I'm saying? That's just how he operates. And so for us, going in there, like, it doesn't necessarily affect me, but like, I just also have a mindset too, like, man, the only thing separating me and these guys is grace, bro. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And it's not because I woke up one day and I was smarter than him and I said, okay, cool, it's just grace. And yo, like, I always ask people, like, because I get that, bro. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you that the body is fully supportive of what we do. Yeah. Nah, I get messages all the time saying like, you shouldn't be in there. You shouldn't be saying this. You shouldn't be screaming like that on this, all this stuff. And I'm just like, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? If you can't support us, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally fine with that. It's like a give in, right? Like, the Christians, they think like, yo, y'all looking too much like the world. Right. And then the battle rappers, they like, yo, y'all preaching too much. And it's like, dang, I can't win no matter what side I'm on. You know what I'm saying?
But it's funny. It's like, you remember I said this in the episode, like, you can never be too Christian enough. It's like, fam, like, where am I supposed to go then? Do you want me to, if I'm just chilling with Christians all the time, what am I really impacting? Yeah. So then when I go into the, you know, the battle rap thing, I'm doing it, it's like y'all looking at me crazy, but this is where I'm supposed to be at.
Yo, I always try to tell them, like, where do y'all think Jesus is going to be at? You think he's going to be at the Passion Conference? Come on. Or you think he's going to be at the battle rap? Come on. Where do you think he would be at right now? You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, I am totally fine with this not being your preference. Yeah. I am okay with that. Not everybody's gonna be fair. And I understand that some of the content that's even getting rapped to us is just disturbing. However, don't take your hand off our support. Don't say like, yo, you not standing with us or nothing like that. Yeah. Like, you could be on some tip, like, yo, you know what? Hey, I don't like even Paul, bro, when he was in jail and he starts hearing like, yo, Paul, just want to let you know there's some cats out there and they preaching the gospel with ill intentions.
Right.
You know what he says is, hey, as long as the gospel being preached.
Yeah.
That was with their motives being wrong. And he's still like, yo, I'm rejoicing because at least the gospel's getting out.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo, all right, I know y'all don't rock with like their content and you don't think that we should be, but like, understand like there's something going on. There's some seeds being planted. There's things that are occurring that if we were not there, and I'm not saying me,
Correct.
anybody, but like if we were not there, that would not be happening. And so, you know, we definitely get that. But like you said earlier, you know, like we're in this specific field, but I look at it like they're not projects that I'm here to go ahead and fix. I'm not going into battle rap thinking, okay, Lord, I gotta go ahead and change Murder Mook today.
Right.
Nah, like that's not my, you know what? Mook has something that he's probably dealing with in his life that maybe I go ahead and help him with.
Exactly.
My boy B-Dot, you know what I'm saying? Or my boy Bad News. Like these are guys that I have genuine, like these are my friends. And I care about every part of them, you know what I'm saying? Their heart, their mind, and their soul, you know what I'm saying? And they know that I'm praying for them. They know that I'm with, but they know that we also doing life with each other. Whether you got an issue with your wife, whether you got an issue with your mother, you got, you know, Bad News when he was shot. And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the first person he called, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the relationship that we have. Yeah. And so I'm not looking at them as, like I said, as projects and necessarily fix. I just know like, yo, you know what, Lord, like how can I be a blessing to this person? And you let these seeds be planted and what you do, you get the increase. I know you're going to get the increase. Yeah. And so like, if that means taking out my wallet and loving them with my money, hey, I'm going to do that. They know that. If that means, you know, just spending time with them and going out to eat and just listening to them, they know that. Getting on the phone, FaceTiming for hours, they know that. Just being there at their battle, supporting them, they know that, bro. So when they look back, got it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so
that's good, man. And bro, you brought up the B-Dot thing, and this was one of the things I was thinking about. I remember when you battled B-Dot, like y'all had like an embrace.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, these dudes look like they like really like each other. Like, you know, or had love for each other, you know, and it just kind of made me think back to what I was saying about battle rap being a lot like wrestling, where like these guys are spending so much time together, and you do have to have that divide, but at the same time, like, man, who's gonna know him better than somebody who's like right there with him in that? And I remember reading Sting has a book. Him and Shawn Michaels have books, and they're both Christians, and they talk about like going back into wrestling like after they became Christians, and how like it wasn't their job to like be, you know, evangelizing before you hit the mat. Like, it's like, nah, man, I'm just gonna be a constant presence of love and care for these guys. And at some point, if the Lord opens their heart to, you know, what he's doing, then I'm there as a brother, you know, because I've already established that relationship. So it's good to have that in battle rap, because I think the average Christian who may not even know about Christians in battle rap, they're thinking like, yo, that has to be impossible. Like you don't, that's something that you're not gonna go into.
Yo, they want, and I tell people all the time, like, first of all, in the hood, like some of these, their grandmothers, they're like, bro, and he probably gonna be mad if I say this, but I'll be like, yo, Arsenal called me right after our battle, and he was like, yo, my mama a pastor, bro, and she loved you. You know what I'm saying? And like, but you know how many times I hear that? You know how many times I hear after that? It's like, yo, man, you know, I was a Christian rapper, bro. Like they'll be telling us like, yo, I used to be a Christian. And like, so there's a foundation there.
Oh yeah.
Now usually when you in corporate America, it's just atheists over there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with something else. But there's already, I feel like the ground is already fertile over here. You know what I'm saying? The harvest is ripe. It's that the workers are few.
Yeah.
That's the issue that we have. And you know what I'm saying? It's only a couple of us, but like the harvest is ripe. It's there. And so, like you said about Dot, bro, my boy B-Dot, like the reason we embrace each other, you right, like before we weren't close, but after the battle and since then, I mean, he's been my brother side by side, and he and I would just get on the phone and just like, all right, man, so the person of Jesus, let's work through this. And before I got into battle rap, I had never been, you know, granted, I used to debate atheists, I used to debate all stuff. Before I got into battle, I never heard the argument that, yo, Christianity was the white man's religion.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
When I got into battle rap and B-Dot started hitting me with that, I was like, now I got to go ahead and do my research. It caused me to go ahead and study something and really learn, okay, man, Jesus was this brown-skinned Middle Eastern guy, you know what I'm saying, who it wasn't the Europeans that came and gave this truth to Africans. It was obviously the opposite. It was the opposite. Yeah. Now the Europeans obviously, used it to go ahead and enslave dark brown and black skinned people, but that wasn't like we start in history too late. Like let's start it back to like what was Jesus' intentions with this. And so I'm able to have some dope conversations with that, and I'm able to work through those and I was forced to, because I never ran into it before, bro. I was forced to, and when I was forced to, I was like, oh, this is a totally different thing. And like I said, these guys, bro, they just want to communicate. Yeah. They just want to know, like, oh, you care. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I care what you know, because I know that you care. You know what I'm saying? So when they get that understanding from you, anything, and granted, you're gonna have some guys that are just like, man, forget that. Yo, F LOSO, yeah, we don't care what he gotta say. That's cool. But I'm not not here for you. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and work with these others.
I love it, man. I mean, most of us don't get those opportunities. Yeah. Most Christians on a regular basis don't have opportunities to literally look at somebody in the face that has an opposing view. Like, because most of the time when we're interacting,
you gotta have that genius gene in you.
But like, for real, I mean, like, I'm out here every day, but I'm not debating, a guy like B-Dot. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's gonna come hard. Yeah. And he's gonna come hard on purpose. And most Christians aren't doing that. And yet, they would be very critical of you. You know what I mean? And you're actually spending more time evangelizing and doing apologetics in a form that's art.
And I understand that that's not being televised, right? Like, if we didn't do this podcast, you wouldn't have known that. But I'm glad that y'all trust me enough to be like, yo, you know what? Lord, I know you got your hand over him, and I know there's something fruitful being done. Now, granted, I can't blame people for just only seeing the battle and being like, ain't no way LOSO impacting anybody over there or having good you know what I'm saying, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I understand, because you don't know the full story. Right. But if you have one conversation with me, you'll understand, like, this is just first of all, this is just who I am. I'm not putting on this mask or nothing like that. Like, this is just what we're just having a conversation here. It's nothing like I'm trying to force. You don't see me with a telephone over here with some notes like, all right, cool, let me make sure I bring up this point. This is just life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, but you're right. I mean, you may not necessarily run into that, but I am. And so you may not be going down in the well, you know what I'm saying? But at least hold the rope for me while you're up there. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to
say that in that camera right now. This one right here.
Yo, for real, like, if y'all watching this, look, we're not asking you to go down into the well with us or whatever cave that we're jumping into. Just hold the rope for us while we up there. That's all we asking. While we here and we getting, we got our hands, scarred and stuff. Your hands should be scarred too, because you're the ones holding the rope for us. So just hold us down. That's all I'm saying.
Amen. So, hey, look.
About the podcast. So that's the TikTok clip. We about to go viral. That's it. You can shut it.
Yo, hey, we've been rocking almost an hour, man. So we don't want to take too much of your time, but we got a couple more things we want to hit you with.
Feel free.
Man, so we walked into this battle rap space. I want to hit some high points on battle rap before we move into a different direction. But bro, you already mentioned the Arsenal battle. Yeah. You already mentioned B-Dot, which is great. You mentioned being in with John, which we can all tell, like, y'all have genuine love for each other as well, man. Like, how do you feel overall about just your battle rap career? Like, the last, what's it been, like 8 years?
Man,
so?
Not even.
Okay.
It's been 6 years.
6 years, okay.
6 years, right? We just went on 6. So started, I say 2016 is when it started. So, what were we, 2022? Yeah. So, you're asking me, how do I?
Yeah, just if you had to stop today, like,
I'd be totally content. Okay, I'd be totally content. I think that just from a battle rap career, just from my career in battle rap, like, I'm respected. I'm one of the, they recognize me as one of the best. They know my work speaks for itself. I mean, I get love from, like, the FedEx man comes around, you know what I'm saying? He's like, LOSO? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what's crazy?
He used to work for FedEx, by the way. So.
Oh, okay. Man, you know what's so crazy? When it was in the beginning, it was odd that people were asking for pictures and stuff like that. And so But because battle rap, because you got to think about these people are watching you on YouTube all the time. So when they see you, I was just it doesn't matter where I go. I could be in any state. I could be anywhere. And I'm almost, I just know that there's going to be somebody there that just knows me. And it's just love. And for me, I'm like, man, nah, you know what? Like, this is just what comes with it.
Yeah.
And I'm totally fine with it. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure Justin Bieber and Kylie Jenner hate it. You know what I'm saying? People at their crib, and stuff like that. But for me, like, I appreciate all the fans. And I think that's why, like, even for me, because a lot of battle rappers, they don't necessarily get to a place where they're able to organically build their fan base. Even some Christian rappers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see people with a lot of, like, streams, right? And I always see these numbers getting pulled out, but I'm like, man, I feel like they not really, like, capitalized, because I don't see them really doing, like, shows, or I'm not seeing, like, it doesn't translate in real life, right? And what I always try to do is I try to make sure that whoever I am making art for, they know that I'm making art for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes on Instagram, and this, I'll even encourage you guys to do this, and you guys probably do this anyway, but some days you might have great days with algorithm, right? You might get the video that hits like 280,000, right? That's fine, and you jumping at it. I would encourage you, though, to be just as grateful on the day that you get 100 hits.
Yeah.
And there was 3 comments in there.
Yeah.
What you do, hit up those 3 people. Yo, appreciate you, man. Let them know, like, yo, I appreciate you commenting, you know what I'm saying? And yo, we're going to be putting out this, because they, like, bro, they just held you down on a bad day for
Yeah.
and so for me, whenever it's a bad post or something like that, or a bad job, I don't look at it like I forget them. Nah, you know what? Yo, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, can I send you a t-shirt? Yada, whatever it is. And when you focus on that as a content creator, and for me, just as an artist, like, and I go out, like, people appreciate that. And so even at battles, bro, it be lines like wrapped around. Like, these ain't concerts. Like, I try to tell people, like, granted, like, especially Christian rappers or whatnot, like, they'll do a couple people here and there, salute to them. But, like, these battle rap events, bro, it's like, bro, I was in front of 2,500 people when I was in Houston. Line wrapped around. You would have thought they were giving free Chick-fil-A sandwiches outside. I'm going up and down, though, and these guys they're so grateful that in the hot sun while they waiting, I'm just clapping their hands and I'm just taking pictures with all of them. And they remember that. Yeah. And they moving forward, they're going to hold you down. And I want to make sure that they understand that. So, like I said, it's I guess it's odd sometimes, but at the same time, I'm so appreciative of it, bro. Like, I'm just like, nah, you know what? I worked hard for this, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, come over here and I appreciate the love. So yeah, bro, like, I'm trying to tell you, I could literally be walking down the street, and if the mailman is driving down and he knows me, dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the basketball court, I'm at the mall, I'm at McDonald's, like that, and they always start off the same way. You LOSO? It's just and so it's countless stories like that, which is dope. I just was in St. Louis, man. And for the first, this wasn't, it was weird because it had never happened to me. I appreciate it. But this female, she came up to me, bro, and she just started crying. Really? She was shaking. You would have thought One Direction walked through a middle school, bro.
Maybe she thought, like, you were Drake.
Probably, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but she was like, LOSO. She was like, oh my goodness. She started screaming and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, calm down. Let's take this picture, just like that. But, like, she watches me all the time, and obviously, hey, I appreciate what you do and stuff, yada, yada, yada. So I'll never sweep that under the rug or pretend like, yo, it's just natural. I appreciate all that.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Battle rap question?
Battle rap question. I have a...
Wait. I got one more battle rap question before we move.
Go ahead.
Before we get to the controversial stuff.
It wasn't even controversial.
Nah, I'm with it.
Hey, so you said you're okay with your career, so that means there's nobody else.
Nah, that's not what that means.
Okay.
So I definitely, when I'm saying I'm content with, like, walking away, I'm cool with it, right? Now, granted, I got a goal. Like, I would love to win Champion of the Year, right? Yeah. I just came in 9th or whatnot. Like, I feel like I could have, if I would have worked a little hard, I feel like I could have won it, right? But yeah, there's guys, like Geechee Gotti.
Okay.
Hitman Holla is really, for me, the end game. You know what I'm saying? But that's my guy. Like,
ooh, you a Hitman? That's a lot of energy.
But if you ask Hitman, though, all the time, he's just like...
He talks about you.
All the time. He's just like, yo, LOSO's just that guy. Like, he's just one of the best fresh faces we got out here and stuff like that. And I don't ever say, when I say I want to battle Hitman, it's not because I don't like him. It's not because I think he's trash. I just think that I think he's the Rock. of our genre. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the Rock, and I think Sue Surf is Stone Cold. That's what I think. And so Hitman Holla is the Rock. He has transcended battle rap. He's, you know, all that stuff. And so love to battle him if that ever does happen. But you know, I would definitely T-Top. That's a battle that we've been talking about for a minute. So there's guys that I definitely would love to battle. But
Hitless.
Hitless. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that those guys would be there. But
this is my very last question about battle. I promise you.
We here.
You tweeted something the other day.
Yeah.
About Young L.
Yeah.
Is that gonna happen?
Yeah. So when I was in St. Louis, I walk in and his brother pulls me aside and was like, "Yo, Young L wants you to be his next battle."
Oh my God.
And I was like, obviously the kid in me was like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Because Young L's my favorite. Yeah. He's one of my he's probably my favorite battle rap. I remember, and it's crazy that since I've been battle rapping, no one has ever said like, yo, you kind of took Young L's style, or you remind me of Young L, but I don't. But I'm saying is because I watched him so much.
Yeah.
Bro, his second round for Rich Dollars, I can rap it word for word with him. Like, to me, when I saw him, he was just such a fresh style. Yeah. And I gravitated towards his like charisma and his jokes and his writing ability and stuff. And so he's one of my favorites personally all time. And so when his brother told me that, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was like, let's go, you know what I'm saying? But then on the outside, I was like, set it up.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, on the inside, I was like, I was screaming, but on the outside, I was like, man, it's whatever. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell URL, but it's both ways. I'm a fan and I'm a competitor, and I would love to go ahead and just battle Young L. I will, and there's sometimes I'm so excited to battle somebody because I kind of want to say I kind of want to see what they would say to me. Yeah. I want to see and I know Young L is gonna come up with some creative. I just want to hear what he would have to say to me, and it'll be dope. And like I said, bro, like I've watched him since, you know, I was like 16, 17 years old or whatnot, and he's just one of the best battle rappers I've never got a chance to meet him either. Yeah. So when his brother told me that, it's there, it's on the table, we both interested. Hey, somebody set it up.
Smack. Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Well, I need Ice Pack in the spring, and then let's get Holla in the fall. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
And then we go off in the sunset.
There we go. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, hey, look, I'm done with battle rap questions.
Then I'm just the third co-host on Pastor Rapper or Rapper Podcast.
Nah, it's gonna be you. It's just gonna be you, the Pastor Rapper.
And we the production team. We just gonna have the cameras and the microphones. No, so earlier when you said you were on YouTube and a sermon came up, do you remember the pastor?
Oh yeah. Paul Washer.
Oh wow! Hey, so what's crazy is our last interview was with Caleb Gordon.
Don't take. That's where I was about to go.
Oh, go ahead. My bad, bro. My bad.
No, we good. No, I was about to say YouTube is doing some really like ministry because when we interviewed Caleb Gordon, he said he was on YouTube.
He said that's the thing that like woke him up.
It woke him up.
He said he heard the gospel. His pops is a pastor.
Oh, word.
And he was on YouTube. I forgot what he said he was looking for. And he said Miles Monroe popped up, and he listened to a Miles Monroe sermon. I mean, Paul watching Miles Monroe, way different, but still.
But the impact was there.
The impact is there.
So when you said that, I was just like, yo, that's what, like YouTube out here really doing ministry.
I was just, when I tell you, but that's why I use this language when I tell people, like, yo, you should feel like God interrupted your life.
Yeah.
That's what he did for me. Yeah. I wasn't looking for him. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe you kind of just grew up in, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like at some point, there was an interruption. You had these plans, you had these aspirations, and you were on your way to Damascus, and he knocks you off your horse. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You were just in there tending to the sheep, and he comes and says, yo, we want you to go ahead and kill this giant. You know what I'm saying? You were out there catching fish, now you over there fishing for men. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this interruption throughout the scriptures, and there's still an interruption in 2022, bro. Hey. And for me, I was on YouTube, probably doing God knows what on there, and I got interrupted by this video by Paul Washer, bro, and the rest was history. Caleb Gordon was on YouTube doing God knows what, and he gets interrupted by this video, this pastor, you know what I'm saying? And so that goes to show you, like, the Lord is in the business of interrupting lives, and I'm totally fine with using that word. You know what I'm saying? That interrupt, because that's what he does, bro. He's like, look, all right, it's time. Go ahead, Caleb, go this way. Loso go this way. But we all under the same umbrella. So.
Hey, man. Hey. I love it.
I thought it was dope when he said it. I wanted to say something.
I was gonna say something then too.
Yeah, but you was going.
Hey, pastors, all the pastors watching, put your sermons on YouTube
and TikTok.
Now it's TikTok. Yeah. Now somebody gonna be like, yo, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw.
So what's crazy is we've had people reach out to us about that thing. So like Todd does all our TikToks, and he does all our social media. And every once in a while, we'll just see like 100 views come to a TikTok randomly. And we've had people reach out to us saying like, yo, I was battling with this, or I was trying to figure this out. And then I saw your clip, your 60-second clip. And I watched the sermon. And now I'm coming to faith for like what happened with us is a dude, we did an episode about cursing. And the dude was like, yo, that's cap. So he went to go watch. He was upset with us. He wrote a comment and everything. He went to go watch the full video, and somewhere in that process, the Lord grabbed his heart, and he rededicated his life to Christ. Like, just off of that.
Let's go.
And we like, yo, like this is crazy, because we never looked at this as ministry in the beginning.
And to even point to something on there, because he came at us. I wish I could find the comment. I'll probably find it, the poster here. But he was like angry. The way I responded was I didn't come at him nasty. I was just like, yo,
you gotta respond with
sorry
grace.
For them. Yeah, it was with grace. It was all grace, because he was pissed off. I was like, sorry for the misunderstanding. It's on like a 30-second clip of a 45-minute clip.
Yeah.
You might want to watch it, and then come back. We could talk about it. And the whole podcast changed his life literally. He rededicated his life back to Christ. So, pastors, YouTube, TikTok, post your stuff. You don't know what it's gonna get out there to, or who it's gonna reach. Just post it.
Yeah.
Or get somebody that's savvy to social media.
Yeah, because I can't do it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, don't just be posting and be like, dang, I ain't reaching nobody. Like I'm kind of privy to it. But yeah.
So hey, Los, man. So you're not just a battle rapper. You're a rapper, right? So you put out music and all that stuff, man. Sir. So like, tell me how it works for you as a rapper who spends most of the time doing battle rap. I would have guessed, right? Yeah. Like, is there a switch that has to happen? Like, what works?
Man, it's what it is that
because battle rappers are not usually great, like recording artists.
You know what, man? They got that stigma, right?
Okay,
but I think it's a wrong one, especially today, because I think like there's some battle rappers that make amazing music. Bro.
Okay,
they just do, but. People just like, oh, he's a battle rapper, so of course he's not gonna sound. First of all, you can't just say he's just a battle rapper anymore, because we making more money than some artists. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see Cassidy doing battle rap. He's making more money as a battle rapper than he can on shows. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not in demand over there. But that's just what it is. So one, but two, for me, there definitely is a switch, and the reason why it has to be a switch is because battle rap is just so much time consuming, bro. You got to think about it. Where we are asked. It's like boxing, right? Like that's why I charge a certain price for my battles that if y'all probably heard, you'd be like, dang.
I know what I'm saying? I just need 3 battles.
Right? And so, but there's a thing though, I charge a certain price that like, obviously I wouldn't charge nobody if they just asked me to do a concert.
Right.
Because that's not gonna be as strenuous as this situation. I'm gonna have to dedicate the next 3.5 weeks sitting down in my crib. And this is another thing too, like the reason why I'm charging is not just for the performance I'm about to give you, but you also gonna be stopping me from making other money, right? I can't be doing X, Y, and Z right now because I'm gonna be in this room locked in day and night trying to write, trying to think of material, and then on top of that, memorize the material. And so for me, it's like it's so demanding so that when I do start thinking about music and I start thinking of lines, sometimes I say to myself, man, I got to put this line over here in this stash because I might need it for this back. That's how dope this line was.
Yeah.
But right now, actually, I don't have a battle booked, right? I don't have a battle booked yet. And so I got some time, even though I'm doing, I'm about to join the Post and Autumn joints like that, and we can chime in on that later. But I got some time, so I'm just in the crib, I'm just in my room, and I'm just trying to write these features. I got to knock out these features, and I got these songs that I'm trying to do too. So unfortunately, I can't dedicate myself to an album, right? I haven't put out an album since 2018, but I have dropped singles periodically, at least quarterly. And so the reason I can't dedicate myself to an album is just because battle rap is just where my biggest demand is at. Yeah. And so there's other battle rappers who can do it. They could just put out albums like that. For me personally, I don't have the bandwidth for it, but I do have, you know, some time to go ahead and put out some songs. So you will be hearing some more music. I just dropped my last single last year. It was called Till I'm Home. Mm-hmm. I think it's a phenomenal video, phenomenal song, man. If y'all have not seen it, make sure y'all go. Shameless plug.
Check it out.
Y'all go check that out. But yeah, so it has to be that switch, bro. It just has to. And you kind of, for me, my wife knows, like, yo, whenever I'm sitting down and I'm in battle mode, bro, you can't get me to leave the house. Sometimes I don't eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just be like just writing and stuff just because I'm just so focused. Yeah. But for music, it's a little more freeing, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a little more freeing. So and I just know that people aren't gonna be as critical on my music as my rap. My battle rap.
You slip up in the battle. You're done.
It's a rap.
Yeah. So okay, we hit the battle rap, we hit the rap. Man, there's another part of you I think a lot of people probably don't know, you know? So we get an opportunity to talk about whether people are just Christian rappers who are Christian, whatever that debate is. Yeah. And one thing I like and love and respect about you, and I've felt this way even before, you know, we got connected, is, man, I've heard about you as a minister of the gospel, as a, you know, somebody serving in a local body. I heard about that outside of the battle rap stuff. Yeah. Like, people have told me, like, yo, he's real deal. He's really out here. Yeah. And we're big fans of that, man. So, like, man, tell some of the people about, man, just your work in ministry, how the Lord has kind of put you in those places. You know, you mentioned Bible college earlier. But yeah, tell us about ministry.
Yeah, so, you know, I was always, so once I just became, once the Lord saved me or whatnot, I just felt like one of the gifts that he kind of just gave me was, you know, like an orator, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was able to kind of just like communicate and I'm public speaking. And it's sometimes like, you know, you could preach, but like an evangelist is something different, right? Like there's just like this unique gift that like when you start talking, like people gravitate towards you. And I noticed that for me. I noticed that like, yo, when I was able to preach the same truths that probably somebody else, it just happened. I remember Spurgeon, he had this dope quote. He said, Whitfield and Edwards, these other two pastors at the time, he said, Whitfield and Edwards may be able to preach the gospel better than me, but they can't preach a better gospel. Right. And that's the idea, right? Sometimes you like, yo, this dude just preached the gospel better than me. But it's okay, because he ain't preached nothing better than you. It was the same message. Right. But for me though, like when I was doing this, I started seeing it. And so I was able, I just had a passion to just teach, bro. Like a lot of people don't know too, like I was an English teacher and a history teacher. And so I just love teaching, but definitely love teaching the Bible. Whatever I knew, I wanted to go in and communicate to other people. And so I was doing that. I was part of a church plant called Faith Endeavor for about 4 years. And I would lead all the Bible studies. I would be in preaching rotation, discipling those young guys, just have them over the crib. Like my door's just always open. I just have a heart for that. And so doing that, but then it just didn't stop there too. A lot of people knew what I was doing was we would go out every Wednesday, a group of us, and we would do a homeless outreach, you know what I'm saying? And so we were just out there just serving food to the homeless, you know what I'm saying? And we would invite people to come help us out, and then we would pray for them. And then we'd probably do like a little sermon out there for them and whatnot, but we just wanted to just feed them. Yeah. Then after that, out here in Tampa, I mean, y'all know this too in Florida, right? Hurricanes, right? Yeah. So my mother-in-law, she's very big into hurricane shelters, and so help out with that, you know. So if there's flooding or whatnot, like we were just the hands and feet out there. We just wanted to make sure that we were helping people with that. Block parties, you know what I'm saying? We did a block party out here, and so it's little things where like one of the things I grew up always wondering was like, does the community know that you're even in the community? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Come on now. You preaching now.
You don't want to just be a church in the community. You want to be a church for the community. Yeah. And so a lot of times it's like, yo, if you ain't no reason if this is a church right here that down the block, they don't know that. Or or the people at the basketball court don't know that you're here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for you to be like, yo, you know what? We know that there's some single mothers down the street. Let's just buy them groceries today. You don't even got to invite them to church. You could say like, hey, we here if you need anything. Right. We here if you need anything. And don't get me wrong, I am I understand fully. And when you just talk about ecclesiology, right? Like the study of the church, stuff like that. When you understand, like, yo, these are my sheep in the building. That's fine. I am totally for that. Do that. But that doesn't negate your obligation to go ahead and impact the city, the town that you in, the community, the blocks that you in. So like I said, it ain't nothing to go ahead and knock on the door and just be like, hey, here's some milk and some bread for the week. If you need anything, you know, we right here, you know what I'm saying? Our services are these days, that's fine, but we just want you to know, like, we're here. We don't know if you knew that we was a building. That's it. Yeah. Ain't nothing. And I was part of a church that was solid, bro. I mean, up and down, I agreed with 99% of their theology, right? Like, we was on point with everything. But the outreach wasn't there, right? And there was times where I was like, yo, I want to invite my homies to the church, but
they ain't gonna be feeling
this ain't, they're not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? No. So then I end up joining another church that wasn't necessarily as solid theological, but practically they were killing it. And so like I started thinking to myself, I was like, okay, what do it's a give and take when you're looking for something, right? Like the orthodoxy's here, but the orthopraxy's here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what do you do? And then it's really gonna be where you at. You know, maybe at a younger age, I needed this, you know what I'm saying? But for me right now, I'm just letting you know, Loso right now, I could spit out the bones and take whatever else you're giving me, you know what I'm saying? Now you can't just be going off the deep end, obviously I'm not gonna be there. But at the same time though, it's like, if you are for making an impact in your community, bro, if you are for helping people change their lives and just being a blessing to people, man, that's where I want to be. I want to link arms with you right there. And so, like what you said, that's dope that people will know me. And like I said, in the battle rap community, I want people to know me for that too. I want people to know me like, oh, you know what? When I couldn't pay my light bill, Loso had me. You know what I'm saying? When I was in, when somebody needed to bail me out of jail, Loso got me. These are real things. It's not me trying to brag, but like this is like stuff that like I help people with just because I want them to know like I'm here. Yeah. I'm not just you're not just gonna pop me on YouTube. Like, nah, bro, like I'm here in this community and I want you to know that. And so let's get on the phone, let's talk, let's do whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so that's dope that you hear that. You know, obviously I don't need that to kind of like motivate me to do anything else, but those are just some of the things that I want to make sure, like, especially where I'm at in my life now, that's just how I want to operate. So.
I love it, man. You gotta have purpose. Yeah. You gotta, live the stuff that you talk about and say that you represent.
Here today, gone tomorrow, bro. Like you gotta think about it. The stuff that we're blessed with, bro, like this ministry that you're blessed with, like you guys were telling me earlier, you were thinking about, like packing it up. Yeah. Not on no giving up thing, but you was like, yo, you know what? Just is what it is. But it's like, yo, you know what? Like like I said, I gravitated towards y'all personalities and like we ain't know each other, months ago. Right. But it's dope. And this one podcast, you don't know what can happen. Exactly. You don't know the ripple effect of this, and that's okay. And you may not, and here's the beautiful part. You guys have probably dropped content that you probably feel like we were just talking, right? We didn't want to force anything. But it could just be, it just takes one person, bro. Yeah. And he probably just saw something, he didn't want to comment, he didn't have to say, but it hit him and it went, and you have to trust that. You have to know that, because if you wake up and you think that it's dependent on you, bro, you're gonna be performance based. Oh yeah, you're gonna be performance based. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be views and it's gonna be clicks, and that's but at the end of the day, it's like, man, it's something that I know that it's impacting someone out there, and I'm totally fine with that if it doesn't come back and I get the glory for us. Hey, not to us. We cool with that. And I'm fine with that as well. So, but but you do want people to know, like, we're here. Oh yeah. If it's anything, we're here for you.
Yeah. No, that's good. All of it's good, man. We kind of had the same thing with our church. You know what I mean? Like, we planted in the fall of 2019. So we got 5 months in, the pandemic hits, and you shared a very similar situation. And we got to a point where it was like, yo, can we even, like, is there anything left to even go on with, right? And we had to make some hard decisions, man. We ended up taking a 3-month church-wide sabbatical, and just praying. And by God's grace, man, he's kept us going and added more of what we were desiring in one of the hardest periods, man. And had we just kind of given up, man, we don't know, what we'd be doing. And it was really in that process, God sending one person here and there, one thing here and there to kind of keep us going throughout that whole process. And the same thing with the podcast. Like, as we were thinking about, dying down with it, God sent a couple people to kind of like motivate us to keep going, man. So we appreciate you being a part of that process, man, because it definitely has added some opportunities for us to be inspired and keep going. So,
and I know I suck at podcasts, bro, because I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Nah, it's all good.
I feel like usually it's supposed to be like,
man,
we good, man.
Over here. I'm over here like, yo, I'm talking like 30 minutes, bro. I'm like, dang.
This is how I know he a pastor.
And a battler, bro. Like, it's just like all me. It's like, all right, round one is on me. But now I in my mind, I was like, man, maybe I should probably like shut up right here. Just see if y'all had like a sub question or something like that.
Nah, bro, that's
a controversy right here. So
I'm with it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Loso, you a Christian rapper? A rapper that's a Christian, or it doesn't even matter.
Or a Christian battler.
That's another option too.
It is right now. I literally just added it.
All right, so how did Caleb and Lamar answer the question?
I answered that question after you answered your question. So.
All right, but I'm not gonna be influenced. I just wanted to make sure that they answer. But man, I just tell people, yo, I'm a Christian everything.
Yeah.
I've never necessarily like categorized it, and I didn't hear it obviously until Reach Records started like making it popular and stuff. Yeah. But I'm always kind of skeptical with people just having to make that distinguished category. Like I'm a rapper that's this. I understand it though. I understand it totally, right? I understand like, I'm just making music and I'm just because that's who I am, right? Like I'm a battler. I'm this. I'm that. I'm so many different things, but. Let's be honest. We know what we're talking about when we talk about music. We just know. And here's the problem though. When people try to go ahead and make that separation, I tell people all the time, like, I understand that when you put the word Christian in front of something, you're saying the argument is like, well, my music isn't saved. I'm the one that's saved. It's like, all right, that's fine. But let's not be like, there's a reason why certain couples, they Google Christian counselors,
right?
Or they want to take their people to Christian schools, or because there's looking for specific content that you're giving, specific material that you're offering with a specific worldview. And so when they're asking you a question, are you a Christian rapper? Answer the question.
Exactly.
Are you going to be providing them this specific content, this worldview that they feel is the right one? Yeah. That's all it is. That's the question right there. And if you're not that, then you're right. I think some people who are calling themselves Christian rappers should call themselves rappers that are Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, I feel like,
and to be honest, I think that's kind of, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think when we start having this conversation, we're looking at it from retrospect now, like some of those guys were going through that.
Yeah.
So they were hesitant to say, yo, I'm a Christian rapper, because they were going through all kinds of stuff and trying to figure out where they really did stand on these things. Whereas like the guys who are like, nah, bro, like I'm good right now. You know what I'm saying? Like none of those guys seem to have a problem calling themselves Christian rappers.
Facts.
And I figured you would answer that way because I'm like, yo, this dude was listening to the truth and that battle.
Yeah.
Like,
there was another option that we came up with that I didn't give him, because Caleb Gordon said he's a gospel rapper.
Okay.
Oh yeah. He says he's a gospel rapper.
Lamar really said he's a Christian rapper.
What does he mean? What does he mean by that?
So all right, I'm not gonna say I coined the phrase, because all right, you remember back in the gospel gangster days and T-Bone days. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Their genre actually was gospel rap.
Okay.
I don't know what happened like in the early 2000s, but then it changed from gospel rap to Christian rap.
Okay.
Around the reach, it changed from Christian rap to rapper that's Christian. So it seemed like all in all, Christian rappers seem to have this kind of stigma right now. It doesn't seem to have like a good tone behind it. So it's like, I guess to disassociate yourself with that is like, all right, saying you're a gospel rapper is saying like you're embodying, you know, I'm a Christian and you're gonna know what my music is about. Gospel rap actually used to be a corny thing, but now it's kind of coming back into like a good thing.
You know what? Like I think this is the worst time to say I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm a rapper who's Christian. I think it's that very worst time, like the absolute worst time to do that because. Yo, especially with TikTok, people are looking specifically for Christian rappers, right? They're looking for Christian artists, just like what you were saying. Mm-hmm. So, like, I would make the distinction, like, nah, I'm a Christian rapper. I'm also a gospel rapper because that's why I'm delivering in my music.
Yo, shout out to Caleb if he's the one that coined that phrase. I mean, I think that's actually dope, and the reason
he stole it from us, but you know.
Oh, he did, yeah. But here's the thing, though. It's like some of the guys, some of the rappers, right? You're calling yourself a rapper, whatever. Bro, and I'm put the camera on me right now, bro. Put it right on me.
We gotta do the slow zoom.
This is what I'm saying though, bro. Like the people who's streaming yourself, they're white kids at the youth group, bro. Hey. They're like you're getting booked at those churches. Like those are the majority of your shows. Like you know it. Like you could go ahead and try to like dress it up on Instagram and all this other stuff. But you know who's buying your music and who's supporting you. And if you don't market yourself like that, you're gonna be out of shows. So financially, your best bet is probably still call yourself a Christian rapper. But at the end of the day, man, shout out to my boy Caleb because I like his idea. I never met you, bro, but I actually rock with the idea they just told me, even though you stole it from my guys. But I do think, man, that mindset is like, yo, this is I can't. Like I tell people all the time, like, you give me any concept, any song that you want me to rap about, my worldview is gonna seep through, bro, because that's just how I see life. Yeah. And it's just a biblical worldview, bro. This is what it is. So it's not like no like preachy type of stuff. It's just life. Yeah. You want me to talk about, you know, what happens if your girl cheats on you? Hey, I'm gonna give you a biblical perspective. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a real one too. Yeah. I'm gonna give you but like that's just how my verse is gonna come out. You know, so I'm totally fine with saying like, yo, if you want to call me the Christian battler or you want to call whatever it is. Oh man, KB had a perfect thing, right? He said, you know, you want to call me the Christian rapper or rapper. I just want to be more Christian rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's fine, bro.
I love it. I love it. That's kind of the, you know, that's kind of how we rolled into this podcast. It's like, bro, our worldview is Christian. But, you know, we talking about Kendrick. We talking about Cole. We talking about DMX. And
I think one of your biggest videos, what was about T.I. or something like that?
Well, yeah, we talked about T.I. in the context of an even bigger question, which was we were talking through what were we talking through with that?
It's a couple of clips with T.I. I don't know which one.
It was like this one had like it has the most views on your TikTok.
Okay.
That was the Sha'Carri Richardson one. But he was talking crazy.
Oh yeah. We were just talking about people outside of the culture speaking a lot about certain things that they don't really know about. Got you. And I think we also mentioned Charlemagne in that one. Where we were talking about like, man, bro, if you don't know the Bible, like, don't use the Bible.
Speaking of, and this is a whole nother podcast, but it's somewhat relevant. On the Breakfast Club, you know the whole, we probably need to shut down soon, but with the Michael Todd thing that happened recently.
I just recorded a Bible study on it, by the way, so y'all can go
check that out.
Check that out.
But granted, he's not a Christian. He's clearly not a Christian, but he was saying like when Michael Todd, you know, did what he did, he was like, he kept saying, you know, Jesus spit on that man in the Bible. So he was like, so if you try to cancel Michael Todd, he was like, Michael Todd was just trying to do what Jesus did. So should we should we be trying to cancel the Bible? First off, he didn't spit in the man's eye. He spit in dirt.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
We can chop on that, but nah.
I know he did. It was like two things he did.
But I understand. But I get what you're saying. It's like Charlemagne, bro. Like, sit this one out, bro. Lead us to the professionals. There's a reason why we upset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. But and like I said, that's a whole other podcast.
It's all good. That was actually the title of the Bible study. Should we cancel the Bible?
Go watch that.
It was based off of the Charlemagne clip. So y'all go to my page on Facebook, Byron L. Cogdell. Y'all can find that right there.
There we go, man.
We gonna wrap up.
We gotta wrap up, man.
I do want to do a couple of little quick, fast questions. We're not drink champs. All of us drinking water right now. Well,
you feel me? Get the water ready.
The Simply Lemonade earlier.
No free promo.
No
free promo.
No free promo at all.
Man, hey, okay, here we go.
But if you want to sponsor us, hit up Pastor Rapper at podcast.
I hit up his publicist.
Hey, hit me. I need the Zephyr Hills sponsorship. We're gonna start there and move our way up. Favorite wrestler of all time?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, bro.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think about. I feel like at that time when they were doing the Monday Night Wars, where it was Nitro and Raw, I think Stone Cold just put WWF on his back, and he just said, "We not about to lose to NWO."
He ushered in that Attitude Era.
Yeah. The Attitude Era is still the best era of wrestling ever,
without a doubt.
And granted, don't get me wrong, The Rock is there, Triple H is there, but I just think what Stone Cold did, and he had that. Everybody hates their boss, right? Everybody hates their boss. Stone Cold was the first one that said to his boss everything that you ever wanted to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, you ever hate going to work? You know what I'm saying? Like that man is like every hardworking American right now. He just wants to yell at his boss. And so I just remember being a kid, bro, 7, 8 years old, watching this dude, and I was like, yo, he got the world at the palm of his hands, bro. He's the greatest. He's not technical. He's not the technical greatest wrestler, but he's the greatest wrestler to me all time.
I dig it, man. I respect that. Okay, you told us a little bit earlier about having to write a rap about Hosea. So, like, what's your favorite book of the Bible? All-time favorite.
Man, all-time favorite depends. Do I want to get convicted or do I just want to, like, bask in the joy? If I'm getting convicted, I'm probably going to go into, like... Probably gonna go to Romans.
It's impossible to read Romans,
right? My favorite chapter or whatnot is Psalm 73.
Okay.
Yep. And then and then if you want to even get, we want to put it more fractions. My favorite verse, Psalm 73:25. Whom do I have in heaven but you? On earth I desire nobody else. My heart and my flesh may fail, but God is my portion forever, man.
I love it. I love it. All right. I don't know if I should follow with this, but favorite rapper of all time.
Favorite rapper of all time. My favorite rapper of all time is myself. I'm joking with you. I was about to
say, yo, he is back. He's really doing an interview.
I just went straight for Psalm 73. Like, Lord, you my portion. And like, I'm my favorite. My favorite rapper of all time. Yo, you know what? It's actually Fabulous.
Okay.
Fabulous.
That's crazy. The Fabulous and the Loso.
Yep.
Oh, and, wow.
It's fabulous. I just thought like he was just so dope with his punchlines. Yeah. He had tracks for the ladies, the hood respected him and stuff. So probably all time. But for me, who I grew up listening to the most is Lil Wayne. So he probably has. And Wayne is probably beside. I mean, I feel like I almost gotta like say Jay is like the greatest. But
no, you can.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta say that. But if you just asking me, Wayne is my GOAT.
Okay,
I'm with you.
Fabulous is my favorite. Wayne is my GOAT. Jay is the GOAT.
Okay, I dig that.
2 for 3. I'm with you.
Okay, got you.
Does the up north thing have any influence on that, or is it? Do you think if you would have spent all your life in Florida, you would still feel the same way?
I think I would probably still feel the same way about Jay-Z.
Okay.
Fabulous, I probably not so much. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I mean, like, I went through, just the South. Like, I was just on every, like, Outkast is, I think they're the greatest group of all time. You know what I'm saying? So, but Wayne, I was listening to music during his whole mixtape era. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that was like, he was just on something else. So, boom, that's why I got him as my GOAT. I feel like I'm almost obligated to say Jay just because what he's done. Like, he is the GOAT. You got to. You got to respect it. And then, Fab, like I said, he was my favorite. Yeah, he's my favorite, one of my favorites or whatnot.
Lil Wayne's your favorite, right? Biggie.
I was about to say Biggie is.
Yeah.
That's
those guys.
That's like my all-time. I'm trying to see who would be my Fabulous.
I have the worst top 3, so I'm gonna wait till
top 3 is my top 3 is Biggie, Wayne, J. Cole. Those are like my influences.
Oh, I forgot about Cole.
I'm with that.
That's
I'm
my
not mad at
3.
that.
Yeah. In that order. Biggie,
my top
Wayne,
3.
J. Cole.
So my top 3 is actually
Fab is in my top 3.
Yeah, we did. We changed it up.
All right, not top 3 because I'll explain mine too. So this is probably my Fab pick. Mace is my favorite rapper of all time. Favorite rapper. Jay-Z to me is the best rapper of all time. Cole is the person who I listen to rap the most.
Right now, same.
Yeah.
I listen to Cole the most.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Last question I got for you, and then if you got anything,
it.
if not,
We
we
didn't let
can
this
roll
man
out.
go, man.
I know, man. Hey, he's a gracious.
We got to do a
man.
part 2 though.
We can
I
definitely
feel
do a
like
We
part
could have
two.
kept going.
I feel like we got to do a part 2, bro.
We'll
and
do a
we
part
really
2.
got to like get some like controversy. You got to just like write down all the
That's what I'm like. When you said you don't have
all the clickbait junk, bang, bang, bang.
when you
bang,
said
bang.
you don't have a battle coming up, I was like, golly, man, because
yeah.
I want to be like, yo, tell me about this dude, bro. Tell me.
You can't do
But
that. Save for the
man,
battle.
this is really a short one, bro. Do you listen to Christian hip hop?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna be real, bro. It's just not for me. It's just not what it was.
I dig it.
You
want the gospel bars?
Yeah. Like that's just. I'm gonna be real. If I go that route, I might as well just listen to somebody else. But like Shylin, like Ambassador Truth,
Ambassador got another album coming out.
Yeah,
Fire.
He got one coming up.
He got another album
You know what
coming
I'm
out.
saying? So like, KB, you know,
KB.
I think I love. I'm gonna check out your boy Caleb. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, and so, I think that there are guys that I guess would be in that camp that I do. Whenever I do hear some stuff, like shout out No Big Deal, shout out John Keefe, shout out the trying to think, Gavi, you know what I'm saying? Like these are guys who support me, and so I definitely support them and stuff like that. But unfortunately, if you asking me like, do I rush to the albums like how I used to?
Yeah,
Nah.
I dig it. Hey, man.
Bro, we in the same. I think
We probably in the same boat.
Yeah, we talked about it. I actually don't listen to Christian hip hop.
It's not CHH. It's
not.
PHH. It's purpose hip hop.
Ooh.
That's what it is.
Hold on. Are you
hold on.
corny in this term?
It's
This is the headline.
Yo.
Oh,
what it is.
that's the
It's the
clickbait.
title of the episode.
real.
It's not
I would just be
CHH.
real, bro. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep it at that. Like it's purpose hip hop. You let me know, like like hey, keep going. And
Hey,
stuff
Take
like
the
that's.
camera and talk your stuff.
He going out with a
PHH.
bang, bro.
Oh yeah, this is it.
You know what I'm saying?
This is it.
No,
This is
I'm
what we
just-
came here for.
I'm just saying like that. If you just asking me, but you know it's not. And granted, you know things change. Like that's totally fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, those are my guys. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I support all like DJ Michael V. Right? Like he and I would probably like whenever we get up, we might disagree on like certain people. I think he always tells me like, yo, Shalin's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you crazy. But but he and I also have similar music tastes in secular hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But that's my guy, and I know his heart, and I know these other guys' hearts. But I'm just saying, like, if you're just talking about, yo, Los, are you personally running to go ahead and cop any albums today in CHH stuff? I'm just not.
We
bro.
feel that same
Yeah.
way, man. We feel that same way. Look, I think that's a good way to outro, man. This is the He's the Pat. Oh, that's your job, ain't it?
It is, but before you say that, because you said something, I want to. The first person to ever reach out to us when we first started popping was DJ Michael V.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to
him.
I'll talk about the first episode.
I forgot
He
about it.
followed us on every like before anybody knew who he was.
This was months ago.
He wrote us and he was like, "Yo." He literally said it's similar to what you say. He said, "I love what y'all doing." He said, "If y'all need me for anything, hit me up." I never hit him up because it was the first episode. That wasn't what we was on. But
Yeah. He's definitely gonna give you some good content too.
Yeah.
you actually might need to. But shout out,
He's
he-
a cool
Holla at
guy.
us.
That's
Holla
my
at
boy.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about
And
before
he's
anybody knew.
He's a wrestler.
Really?
I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Like he's trying. I don't know if he's trying to get on like WWE and stuff like that. But Michael, like he came down to Tampa and he does like the underground
Yeah,
wrestling
there's
stuff.
circus now here for
Like
sure.
I'm being serious. Like he takes his shirt off, bro, and he's like, I don't know if you remember Vader.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's how I kind of think of when I see him. But no, there's no shout out to him. But
Hey, I get it.
like Michael's like out there killing it, bro.
I dig it.
Oh no, we definitely get him on
We
the
got
podcast.
to.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna hit you up now, bro. Go ahead.
Before we get out here, man, anything you want to plug, anything you want to
Yeah.
tell the people on your
Yeah.
way out?
Man, yo, if you want to go ahead and follow more LOSO, just go to everythingloso.com. That's my website, my Instagram, my Twitter, both everythingloso as
Buy
well.
some merch.
Yes, cop some merch if you want. Go ahead and listen to the music. You watch some of my battles. On top of that, this fall, man, you will be seeing yours truly on the Poets and Autumn Tour. Shout out to Ezekiel, what he's doing out there. My boy A-Ward and Street Hymns will also be on that tour
Wow.
with me as well. So make sure that you guys tune in. Other than that, man, I you know what I'm saying, shout out to this podcast. Like I said, man, I'm so grateful that, you know, we linked up. Hopefully we could, you know, build on this relationship, you know, whatever y'all need. You know, obviously I'm gonna be supporting y'all. Like I love what y'all do. And I know these are just words from me, but don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, take it for what you want. You know what I'm saying? I know it's just little on me, but hopefully today encouraged you, man, to keep going forward. So
For sure. Ty, you got anything you want to plug on the way out?
Yeah. So if you're listening to this in podcast land, so on the podcast app on Apple, leave us a review. It helps people to naturally or organically find us. So leave us a review. Leave us it's not a comment. It's a feedback. Leave it. It's all cool. Leave us feedback. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, or subscribe. Also, Spotify has a new thing right now with ratings. All you have to do is go on there. You can rate it from a 1 to 5 star. Go ahead and hit that up. That helps people to organically find us. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's I am Ty Van.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the outro music after I hit this. And I'm gonna tell y'all, look, y'all see these hoodies? These Make Disciples hoodies? You can pick one up at bigcartel.identitydaytona.com. Man, they're comfortable. They look good. My dad just ordered one. He loves it. Yo, so go and pick up a Make Disciples hoodie. Man, if you like the podcast, I think you'll also like some of the stuff that's coming out from our church, Identity Daytona. Go ahead and follow us on all platforms, Identity Daytona and identitydaytona.com. You don't have to follow me. We just pray that you follow Christ, and that's it. We out of here.
He shows me out with the follow Christ thing, but go ahead.
Come on.
Exit music.
It's
weird because, you know, I can't hear it.
I know.
The music, it gets me motivated to keep going. It messed up my flow.
I know. I'm glad you can't hear it. And we are done. There we go.